Since Trump has been sworn back into office, we have seen that there have been a number of ICE raids that have happened in various parts of the country to round up undocumented immigrants and fly them back to their countries. And that's what's happening. Undocumented immigrants are being rounded up in raids in workplaces and apartment buildings and sometimes even at schools, and are being put on planes and they're being flown back to whatever country they came from. And this person rightfully points out that you don't see any planes of undocumented Canadians coming here. And I know there are many living in the States. Yes, there are. Hundreds of thousands of undocumented Canadian immigrants living in the United States. Not one of them being swept up in a raid. Thousands upon thousands of undocumented Polish workers in this country. You don't hear jack shit about them. Because this isn't about undocumented immigration. It's about a hatred for brown people. Plain and simple. It's about a hatred for brown people. They're not going to places where Polish or Canadian or German undocumented immigrants work. They're going where brown undocumented immigrants work. But just like in the days of slavery, even though they have a disdain for the brown people, some of them they need to keep close, right? Some of them they need to keep in the country, as is evident by the fact that we haven't seen one Trump property raided by ICE, even though we know for a fact that all of those properties employ, to some level, undocumented immigrants. Not one Trump property raided. Because while it's about a hatred for brown people, we got to keep some of those brown people around, the ones that work for the right people. How many raids have you seen take place in Texas? Maybe there have been. I haven't seen any on the news, right? But how many raids have you seen take place in Texas? Texas has a shit ton of undocumented immigrants. It's a red state. How many raids have you seen take place on potato farms in Idaho? I haven't seen any, even though there are some up there. There are documentaries that exist about dairy farmers in North and South Dakota, telling you who they are, telling you what their farms are, showing you their undocumented immigrants, and talking about how if they ever took our undocumented immigrants, we'd be fucked. You see any raids happening at dairy farms in the Dakotas? No. Because it's not about undocumented immigration. It's about a hatred for brown people, but some of those brown people, like in the days of slavery, they needed some people to work in the houses and in the kitchens. Same thing. Well, these undocumented immigrants are ours. We're not going to get rid of these. Get rid of all of those over in the blue states. Get rid of those in the big cities. Even if those big cities are in red states, go to the big cities where all those liberal brown people are, and gather all those motherfuckers up. Invade schools and places of work. And by the way, that's another thing. I did a video about this yesterday. For all these people who like to say that these undocumented immigrants are coming in here and living off of our money, well, then why the fuck are they continuously invading workplaces? Seems contradictory to the message.